What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So Jinx, this is the League of Legends champion I'm going to be covering today. So what am I going to do? I'm going to cover her bio, I'm going to read through that. I'm also going to go through her abilities and also her skins on the League of Legends website. I'm going to give you my top 3. I'm not going to go through her music video since I did that maybe 6 or so months back. I'm going to cover this though, Ziggs and Jinx paint the town red. I'm going to be going through this comic, I'll probably put that at the back end of this video. This is the story I'm going to go through as well. I'm going to quickly review her art gallery and finally the login theme as well. I'll timestamp the whole thing as I always do. So yeah, let's kick things off with the art gallery, which I think might... There's Jinx's facial expressions. Let me just see if it's on here as well. Let's go through this first, which is the featured link, the art of League of Legends. So this clearly is Jinx. From the first sketch we could tell Jinx was going to be manic and unpredictable. We knew we needed to capture an extreme range of emotions and personality to fully realise this champion. I've said it before and I'll say it again, she's basically League of Legends version of Harley Quinn. I had a vision of a girl with a super crazy and untamed emotional state. I needed to be able to convey her capricious nature in the concept art, so I did a range of portraits instead of trying to temper them into one image. That's the comments from the artist. Yeah, I think they've captured that pretty well there with Jinx, so that is that. Okay, there we go. Here are Jinx's facial expressions. Rules are made to be broken like buildings or people. So happy, suspicious, and probably the one you see the most, which is yeah, not too happy. Or maybe you get them all. You probably get them all in, you know, within the space of a couple of seconds. Anyways, we wanted to push Jinx's volatile personality through her gameplay by giving her the ability to switch between guns, explosive, taser, and of course the super mega Death Rocket, all on a whim. Fishbones and Mr. Pow Pow are as much part of Jinx's personality as her manic smile and her contempt for the rule of law. Okay, these are all of her weapons. We knew from the beginning that Jinx would have an arsenal. It needed to be an assortment of weapons as random, quirky, and deadly as she is. Okay, and these are all the weapons there. Cool. I like how it shows where it's closed when it's open as well. Nice. Okay. And then this is all her stances. And stay still, I'm trying to shoot you. This is obviously some concept art of Jinx. And then this is moving to the skin, so I'm not really going to look at them because we'll get through them in a minute. And this is her base skin there as well. Yeah, really cool. So what we'll do now is, we've gone through that, we've gone through the art gallery. Let's crack on with the bio. So, volatile explosives are a girl's best friend, not diamonds. Okay, so the loose cannon, let's kick things off. While most looked at Jinx and only see a mad woman wielding an array of dangerous weapons, which is fair enough, a few remember her as a relatively innocent girl from Zone, a tinkerer with big ideas who never quite fit in. So, I wonder how much of this is going to be revealed or is going to support what we're going to see in Arcane, because obviously I've not read her bio, I don't know anything about it, so I think it'd be good for me to go through this to get a basic understanding of her lore, her background, prior to watching Arcane. But I wonder how much of that is going to tie in with this. Anyways, so, no one knows for certain what happened to turn, here we go, that sweetened child into a wild card, which I'm sure we're probably going to find out in the series. Infamous for her wanton acts of destruction, but once Jinx exploded onto the scene in Piltover, her unique talent for sowing anarchy instantly became the stuff of legend. Jinx first gained notoriety through her anonymous pranks on the citizens of Piltover. Or is it notoriety? I'll find out what that is. Notoriety. Okay, whatever it said there. On the citizens of Piltover, particularly those with connections to the wealthy merchant clans. Those pranks range from the moderately annoying to the criminally dangerous. She blocked streets on Progress Day with a stampede of exotic animals freed from Count Mai's. Oh, we saw this, didn't we? We saw this in the music video. I'm sure we saw this in the music video. She disrupted trade for weeks when she lined the city's iconic bridges with adornably destructive flame chompers. Okay. Once she even managed to move every street sign in town to new and utterly confusing locations. Though this unknown troublemaker's target seemed random and her motivation nothing more than pure chaos, her actions always served to bring the city's orderly bustle to a screeching halt. Naturally, the wardens attributed some of her crimes to chempunk gangs from the Undercity. Having others get credit for her manic schemes didn't sit well with Jinx, so she made sure that her presence known at every future crime scene. To make her presence known, sorry. Rumours soon circulated of the mysterious blue-haired Zornite girl carrying chemtech explosives, a shark-mouthed rocket launcher, and a repeater gun. Still, the authorities dismissed these reports as preposterous. After all, how could a lowly street punk possibly obtain such lethal ordnance? She's probably stolen, that's why. Jinx's bombastic spree seemed endless, with the warden's attempts to catch the culprit thwarted at every turn. She began tagging her words of destruction with vivid graffiti and other taunting messages directed at the city sheriff's newest ally in the fight against crime, Enforcer Vi. You see, like yin and yang. So Vi is Enforcer, the police, and she is the criminal. Jinx's reputation grew, leaving the people of Zorn divided as to whether she was a hero for sticking to the arrogant Piltites or a dangerous lunatic for escalating existing tensions between their two cities. Probably a combination of both. After months of ever-increasing carnage, Jinx unveiled her biggest plan yet. In her trademark electric pink, Jinx dubbed the walls of the elliptic vaults one of Piltover's most secure treasures, with a very unflattering caricature of Enforcer Vi and the details of her own intention to rob the stores within. Nothing like warning them before you do it, you know. Okay, and an easy sense of anticipation settled over Piltover and Zan, leading up to the promised date of the heist. Many doubted even Jinx would have the guts to show up and risk almost certain capture. When the day arrived, V, Sheriff Caitlin, and the wardens prepared a trap for Jinx outside the treasury, but Jinx had already smuggled herself inside by way of an oversized coin crate that had been delivered days before. That inside man. When V heard pandemonium erupt from inside the structure, she knew the wardens had been outclassed once again. She burst into the treasury, and the ensuing confrontation led the ecliptic vaults a smouldering ruin, and the merry mischief maker Jinx nowhere to be found. Jinx remains at large to this day and is a constant thorn in Piltover's side. Her schemes have inspired copycat crimes among the chempunks, as well as numerous satirical plays lampooning the incompetence of the wardens, and even a smattering of new colloquialisms throughout both cities. Is that like similarities? Though no one has yet had the courage to call Enforcer Vi pretty in pink to her face. I wonder why. Jinx's ultimate endgame and her obvious obsession with Vi both remain a mystery. I wonder if at this point we don't know why, if she's her sister or not. Because that's probably got to be in it. But one thing is certain, her crimes are counting and growing in sheer audacity. Right, interesting. Okay, good story to get a nice introduction to Jinx. Clearly it's not explained in here what's turned her so crazy, and maybe even her obvious connection to Vi as well. Maybe that might be revealed in the story. Anyways, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to quickly go through her abilities, because I'm not going to go through her spotlight, which is pretty old. Then I'm going to move on to her skins. I'm going to give you my top 3. Let's go. Okay, so she is a marksman and difficulty is moderate, so get excited. Jinx receives massive increased move speed and attack speed whenever she helps kill or destroy an enemy champion, epic jungle monster, or structure. So the switcheroo, yet Jinx modifies her basic attacks by swapping between Pow, I can't really call it good than that. Her minigun and Fishbones, her rocket launcher. Attacks with Pow grant attack speed, while attacks with Fishbones deal area of effect damage, gain increased range, but drain mana and attack slower. So Zap. Jinx uses Zapper, her shot pistol, to fire a burst that deals damage to the first enemy hit, slowing and revealing it. She has the Flame Chompers. Jinx throws out a line of snarl grenades that explode after 5 seconds, lighting enemies on fire. Flame Chompers will bite enemy champions who walk over them, rooting them in place, and her ultimate is Super Mega Death Rocket. Jinx fires a super rocket across the map that gains damage as it travels. I didn't know that. The rocket will explode upon colliding with an enemy champion, dealing damage to it and surrounding enemies based on their missing health. Okay, so I've played Jinx quite a few times as well. I'm okay with Jinx. Anyways, let's move on to her skins. Let's go. So this is the original skin for Jinx, a manic and impulsive criminal from Zon. Jinx lives to wreak havoc without care for the consequences. With an arsenal of deadly weapons, what we've got here, she releases the loudest blasts and brightest explosions to leave a trail of mayhem and panic in her wake. Jinx despises boredom and gleefully brings her own chaotic brand of pandemonium wherever she goes, which is nicely encapsulated in this base skin as well, which is decent. So the next one, Crime City Jinx, reminds me a little bit of Gatsby. Known by state police as La Principessa, Jinx is an unhinged hitwoman with loose ties to the Grey's crime family. Sent into rival businesses and as a fugitive time bomb, the slight offence will trigger one of her jubilant rampages with body counts as high as the ceiling. Love it. Yeah, I like that skin. And who's that in there in the foreground? Is that Twitch maybe? Nice. Okay. So that is that one. Next one is Firecracker. So, never want to turn down an imaginary challenge. I love how it says imaginary. Jinx has constructed a number of lunar revel weapons, including a 7-foot-long rocket shaped like an angry dragon. She'd tell you it's a fun firecracker for parties. It is not. And that is the skin for that as well. Okay, I like that one. The thing I like about Jinx is it's her facial expressions. Her facial expressions are so unique. Yeah. Next one is Star Guardian. Much to the annoyance of her team, Jinx is an impulsive and sometimes cynical Star Guardian who loves a good glittery explosion. However, when the fight starts, Jinx will throw herself into the battle to protect others, especially her childhood friend Lux. So we saw a little bit of this when I did the Star Guardian's video, maybe 3 or 4 months back now as well. Apparently the Star Guardian ergot, apparently, which is a crime if there is one, and also if there's one, I'm definitely going to be reviewing it as well. Anyways, let's get back to this one. So Odyssey Jinx, here we go. Adept at building and or destroying, but mostly destroying, a variety of haphazard, highly unstable weaponry for the Morning Star crew. Jinx also serves as the ship's pilot. Her previous job as a mining explosive technician resulted in a lot of collateral damage and a thoroughly justified dismissal. So the is it getting jinxed? The Odyssey. There was an Odyssey video that I watched a while back that had her in it, had Sona in it, had Kane in, Malphite. There was someone else, but that was a really cool video as well. I like that theme, definitely giving me Guardians of the Galaxy vibe as well. Yeah, and I like this look. As well. So the next one is Project, and Project is amazing. Everything about Project is so good. Possibly my favourite skin. There's loads that are almost as good, but yeah, if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Project. Anyways, Jinx volunteered for Project Conversion, never expecting that a critical power failure would scramble her memory core. So that explains, at least in this lore, what happened to her, leaving her a psychopath driven by the manic voices in her head. Seemingly obsessed with destruction for its own sake, she's begun to show signs of something far more sinister than mere memory fragmentation, the cold, calculating influence of Program. Can you imagine if they did a series around the lore and Program and the whole Project theme? Come on, that would be so good. Yeah, this skin is really good. Loving the whole like cyberpunk vibe to it as well. Love it. So, is there any more? Yes, a few more. Okay, so this one, I remember this one. This is one that I reviewed when I did Pantheon a while back. Zombie Slayer Jinx, we got Nunu there as well. When a mutagenic virus turned the world into an undead purgatory, no one was more excited than Jinx. No laws, no civilization, not even a thin veneer of polite society had survived. Just a numbless horde of slime-vomiting bullet sponges and all the ammo she can forge. It's paradise. Okay, I like that one. To be fair, there isn't one I don't like. And once again, her expression in every single one is just so good. Whatever this one is, this is Elf Jinx, a master toy maker. I wonder if because what was it now? We did Draven recently, and Draven was Bad Santa, basically. And she's the elf. A master toy maker and inventor, Jinx believes she could one day become the greatest Santa anyone has ever seen. Other elves worry her creations could be classified as weapons, but sometimes that's the price of true ambition. And there is Jinx there as an elf. Okay. Poor Teddy there with whatever that is in its head. And then we have Heartseeker. Love is the battlefield, and Jinx comes prepared, armed with her beloved companion, Fishbones. And you got Yumi there as well, Fishbones. She's ready to break hearts and bones, but if she likes you enough, she's prepared to play nice. Maybe. Probably not. Best Heartseeker one I've seen so far, what I think was Vayne. I think it was Vayne's Heartseeker skin, which was really good. But yeah, once again, the expressions on her face. Yeah, I like the look of that one as well. And then we have Rift exclusive and upcoming. So this is obviously celebrating the Riot Arcane event. This is this one as well. Yeah, so it's very similar. What's she got in hand there as well? This is very similar to the original skin. Very similar to the original skin, but it's just got a darker tone to it as well, which I'm expecting from the series. The series isn't going to be, based on the trailers, I'm guessing it isn't going to be too light-hearted. It's going to be a little bit more serious, a little bit more dark. We're obviously going to find out what's sent her crazy as well, which I'm happy with. I'm glad it's not going to be too light-hearted or too kiddie. The more serious, the better. Something that unfortunately Venom didn't understand. Anyways, that's got nothing to do with this. And the next one is Wild Rift exclusive. Glorious Jinx. Wow. So that's Wild Rift. Let's have a look at that one. Okay, I like that one as well. So if I had to pick my favourite one, I'm gonna lie, honestly, like, in terms of consistency, she might have the best skins. She might have the best skins collectively out of any champion I've done. Swain had some really good ones as well, but yeah, she's probably got the best skins. None of them are bad. None of these skins are bad. But if I had to pick my favourite one, this is really tough. My favourite one would have to be, don't know what, honestly, it could be any. It really could be any. But if I'm just going with my goat here, I've got to go with Crime. I've got to go with Crime City Jinx. That will be my favourite one. And it's close. And it's a toss-up for 2 and 3. It could be any. I like Heartseeker, but I think I'm going to go with Project as number 2. And probably number 3 would be... Let's not include this. It would be Glorious, but I'm not going to include that one because that's Wild Rift. But that would be number 3. I do like that one. I'm going to go with Heartseeker. I like Heartseeker as well. That's cool. Okay, so they're my top 3 skins. We got there eventually. What I'm going to do now is... what am I going to do now? I'm going to next cover her login theme. Let's go. Okay. Let me pause it right there, just a couple of things. First, the majority of login themes don't have any vocals in, no singing, no words. Hers is perfect for vocals. It has to be. It has to be. It's so good so far. It perfectly encapsulates, in my opinion, the whole character of Jinx. Just listen to the first 5 seconds. You could not get away with this with any other champion. That wouldn't work with anyone else. It just wouldn't. really good. Okay. I'm smiling because can you imagine that as a login theme? Can you imagine that as a login theme? I didn't play League of Legends when login themes were a thing, but I imagine you select your champion, you go to play, the loading screen comes on, and this plays. Like, and imagine if you're playing Jinx in this place. Like, I'm ready. That is so good. Yeah. One of the best ones. Quite a lot of people mention that this is a very good login theme. It's up there with the very best, and I can definitely see how it perfectly suits her character, her personality. And one more time, I just love the intro. Great, so good. At least in her head it made sense, whatever she was trying to say there. So, now I am going to move on to the story. Let's go. So, the wedding crasher. I wonder who the crasher is going to be. Jinx hated petticoats. Corsets too, but she grinned at how she had put the space under and was installed and dressed to good use. Her long blue braids were concealed beneath a ridiculous feathered bonnet that was the latest fashion in Piltover. Jinx sashayed between the wedding guests, keeping her smile fixed and trying not to scream at the dead-eyed people surrounding her. It took an effort of will not to grab each one by the shoulder and try to shake them awake. Jinx had come here to get all exploded on the observatory atop Count Sanvik's mansion, but when she'd seen there was a wedding underway, well, that was too good an opportunity for Mayhem to pass, as you do, to pass it up. The Count had spared no expense in making his daughter's party a grand spectacle, which I'm sure it's going to be. The cream of Piltover society was here, the heads of the major clans, laundered Hextech artifactors, and even fat Nicodemus had managed to fangle an invite. The Warden Perfect looked like an overstuffed Poro in the dress uniform, chest puffed out and beady eyes ogling the sprawling buffet table. Music from a small orchestra drifted over the wedding guests, so slow and ponderous it made Jinx want to yawn. She'd take the foot-stomping spin around till it makes you sick music of Zone any day. Hex lumens fitted with rotating zeotropes and oddly angled lenses projected spectral dancers onto the floor that pirouetted and spun to the delight of laughing children who'd never known a moment of hunger, pain or loss. Mimes and sleight of hand artists moved through the crowd, delighting the guests with the fingerwork of their card tricks. Jin had seen better. The sump snipes of the boundary markets would quite literally give any of these performers a run for their money. Pictures of Piltover's bigwigs hung on the walls, panelled with oak and inlaid with geometric copper fretwork. The men and women in their portraits looked down on the people below with haughty disdain. Jinx stuck her tongue out at each of every one of them as she passed, grinning as they tutted and turned away. Windows paned with coloured glass patterned the mosaic floor with rainbows, and Jinx skipped merrily on every bright square as she made her way to a table heaped with enough food to feed 100 families in Zorn for a month. A livered waiter passed her, bearing a silver tray and fluted glass filled with something golden and fizzy. She took one in each hand, spinning away with a grin. Flying foam stained the backs of dresses and frock coats as nearby guests and Jinx sniggered. "Drink up," she said, and knocked back what was left in the glass. She bent awkwardly and set the glass on the mosaic floor, right in the path of oncoming dancers, and burped the opening bars of V is a stupid Fathed, a tune she'd only just made up. Clique the society ladies turned to sneer at her coarseness, and Jinx covered her mouth in mock, wide-eyed embarrassment. Sorry, I accidentally did that on purpose. She skipped on and helped herself to some weird-looking fish things from another waiter's platter. She tossed them into the air and managed to catch at least one in her mouth. A few fell into her enhanced cleavage, and she plucked them out with the glee of a sump scraper, or scraper should I say, who'd found something shiny in the ooze. You can see it now. You thought she'd get away from me, fishes, she said, wagging her finger at every morsel. Well, you were wrong. Jinx stuffed the food into her mouth and readjusted her dress. She wasn't used to this much up top, and stifled a giggle at what she had stuffed down there. The hairs on the back of her neck bristled, and she looked up to see a man staring at her from the edge of the chamber. He was good looking in a stiff sort of way and wore nice formal clothes, but was so obviously a warden that he might as well have had a sign around his neck. She turned and pushed deeper into the throng of guests filling the chamber. She reached the buffet table and sucked in an impressed breath as she saw the towering wedding cake, a frosted masterwork of pink fondant, whipped cream and lace caramel, a replica of the tower of whatever that is in sponge, jam and sweet pastry. Jinx reached down, lifted the ladle from the punch bowl and scooped out a cave in the sponge. She tipped it out onto the floor, licked the ladle clean and tossed it back into the table. She saw a number of guests looking at her funny and bared her teeth in her best manic grin. Maybe they thought she was mad. Maybe they were right. Jinx shrugged. Whatever. She reached down into her whatever that is as well and pulled out 4 chompers. 4. She stuffed 3 deep into the hole she'd scooped in the cake and dropped the other in the punch bowl. Jinx strolled along the length of the table, pulling out another 2 chompers and depositing them in various dishes. One went into a copper soup tureen. The other placed the apple in the mouth of a suckling pig. Her dress was a lot looser without the additional baggage upstairs, and she pulled down the side zipper. Jinx spotted the good-looking man she'd earlier pegged as a warden making a beeline for her through the guests. About time, she said, spotting another 4 gussed-up wardens, 3 women and a man converging on her. Ooh, and you brought friends too. Jinx reached around to the small of her back and pulled a knot securing the petticoat around her narrow waist. The bottom half of her dress sank to the floor and her corset fell away to surprise gasps of the men and women around her. Revealing in her pink leggings, ammo-belted shorts and vest top, Jinx ripped off the bonnet and shook her hair loose. She reached down and swung fish bones up from where it had been concealed beneath her dress and hoisted the weapon up to her shoulder. Hey folks, she yelled, leaping onto the buffet table and drawing Zappa from her thigh holster. Hope you're all hungry. Jinx spun on her heel and fired a crackling bolt of energy down the table at the chopper in the pig's mouth. Cause this buffet is to die for. The chomper exploded, draping the nearest guest in ribbons of scorched meat and fat. A chain reaction of detonations followed. The taurine blasted into the air to drench scores of guests in hot beef soup. The punch bowl blew up next, and then the climax of the detonations, the wedding cake. The 3 chompers inside detonated simultaneously, and the towering confection launched into the air like a rocket. It almost reached the stained glass ceiling before it arced over and nosedived back to the floor. Guests scattered as the giant cake exploded on impact, and fondant fragments flew in all directions. Screaming guests ran from the blast, slipping and tumbling in patches of gooey cream and sizzling punch. So yeah, like I said before, the wedding crasher. Clearly, it is her who's the wedding crasher. Seriously, folks, said Jinx, blowing a loose strand of blue hair out of her face. Screaming helps. Not at all. She skipped down the ruined buffet table and fired a rocket from fish bones that blew out the nearest windows. Iron bolts from hand crossbows flashed past her to embed in the walls, but Jinx laughed as she leapt through the shattered window frame to land in the garden beyond. She rolled back her feet and pulled up short. She'd had an escape route sort of planned out, but looking toward the Sandvik mansion's entrance, she saw a tall, gleaming ring rider that looked like it'd been a ton of fun to steal. Now, that I gotta try. She flung fish bones over her shoulder and elbowed a host of gaping Sandvik footmen out of the way, setting into the disc runner's hand-tooled leather saddle. So how do you start this thing, she said, staring at the bewildering array of ivory knobs, brass rim dials and gem-like buttons on the control panel in front of her. Time for a little trial and error. Jinx holds back on the nearest lever and hit the biggest, reddest button she could see. The machine throbbed beneath her, spooling up with a rising whine and hum of building power. Blue light spun around the outer edges of the wide disc as the main doors of the mansion slammed open. Stern voices yelled at her to stop, because obviously that will work. Like that was ever going to happen. The stabilizer struts retracted into the gleaming frame, and Jinx whooped with manic glee as the disc runner shot away from the mansion like a super mega death rocket. See, as she yelled over her shoulder, awesome party. So, that perfectly sums up Jinx, her personality, and her style as well. So, we do not obviously get any reveal as to what turned her crazy, which I kind of suspected anyway. Clearly, we're probably going to get that from the arcade series, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. So what I'm going to do now is I was going to go through the comic, but I think I'll leave that for a separate video. So I'm going to go through the skins. So I think she's got the arcane skin spotlight. I'm going to go through that, and also one of my top 3 spotlights as well. Let's go. Okay, so this is the arcane Jinx spotlight. This has just been released, so let's go through this, and then I think I'll also go through the project skin as well.
No one dies screaming without me.
Let me see that recoil again. So what I like already is it's like her base skin, but it's just a little bit darker, a little bit more grown up, if you ask me. She's got a picture there. I can't make out who that is, but okay. Yeah, it looks really good. Yeah. Yeah, I like it. The details on her guns as well. Yeah. Okay.
Seriously, screaming helps not at all.
Okay. Yeah, the animation's nice. They're a bit different.
Let's just behave.
I like it. The classic death from Jinx. So, okay, that was good. That was good to go through her latest update of her skins, which is the arcane one. What I'll do now is I'm going to finish off with the one on project. Let's go. Yeah, loving the skin. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, it looks so good, doesn't it?
Fish bones, you know what we have to do?
Do the laundry, wash dishes, and pay some bills.
Stupid dumb rocket launcher. I'm bringing guns to the knife fight.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of annoying, but okay. Here's the recall. Tight. I like that.
Seriously, screaming helps not at all.
Whoa. the trail it leaves. The trail the rocket launcher leaves is cool. Nice. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Okay.
Any last words? No, just that.
And that's probably going to be it. Let me see what else she's got here. Her death is the same. I like her death's funny. Death is the same, and it's probably going to be chromas, is it? Yeah, it's just chromas. So these are different chromas you can choose from. Yeah, and there's some more chromas there as well. Okay, yeah, I think I'll leave it here today, guys. All things relating to Jinx. Hopefully you liked my thoughts and reactions to the bio, the story, her skins, and also her login theme, which was really good as well. And if you did, feel free to let me know. Feel free to like, comment, and maybe also subscribe for more content like this. I think it's only a week or so away before we get to see the opening for Arcane, which I'm really looking forward to as well. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next one.